Hey friend, John McLennan here, and in this video I'm going to share with you how to play every single song from the Police Greatest Hits compilation record. Now this is an incredible album and a masterclass in rock guitar. So I hope you get a ton of value out of this video, and we're gonna go in chronological order. So let's kick it off right away with the first song, Roxanne. Let's break down how to play Roxanne on guitar by the Police. Now, I can't stress enough how great Andy Summers is at guitar and how cool his guitar parts were with the Police. And this is just a perfect example of his rhythm playing. And I'm gonna go through each section and break it down for you. Here's the first part, which is the verse. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to be using a lot of triads here on the top 3 strings. We're going to start off on a G minor. We're just going to put our first finger on the 3rd fret and cover 3 strings, like this. Then we're going to play a D minor. Then we're going to move up to an E flat major 7. Now when we get up here, a lot of times Andy Summers, you'll see him playing this shape live, but he's really just trying to hit the top 4 strings. Then we're going to do the same thing with the next 2 chords, D minor 7. We'll just play 4 strings. And then we'll drop this chord down 2 frets, we'll get C minor 7. Then we're going to play an F sus, which is 3, 3, 1, 1, starting with the D string. Then we move it up 2 frets to the G sus. So here's all those chords. They're going to last 1 bar each. Now we anticipate that last chord, so let's talk about the rhythm here for a second. We're going to do a quarter note down strum. We're just going to sort of stab the chords like this. Now I'm hitting that chord and then I'm releasing the pressure with my fretting hand to get it to sound slightly staccato. So you hear that at the beginning and then you start through the progression. And what I did on the end was 1, 2, 3, 4, and. So I played 2 eighth notes there and anticipated this last chord by putting it on the and of 4 like this. Then it repeats. After we do that twice, we hit the pre-chorus, which goes like this. No new chords here, we're just going to repeat back. We're going to play the C minor 7 to the F sus to the G sus. Now 1 bar here on C minor 7, 1 bar on F sus, and then 2 bars on the G sus. We'll anticipate again that last time, and then we're going to build into the chorus. For the chorus, we're going to play some rock power chords, which I talk a lot about these sort of things in my course below, which you can check out if you really want to learn how to get deep into this style. So we're going to be playing a power chord here, and we're going to play. Now what I did was build in on that G5. Then I'm gonna play a C5 to a B flat. So notice I came down one string and then shifted over. Then we're gonna take it all the way up to the 6th fret and then the 8th fret, counting where your first finger is. That's the root note for an E flat 5 to an F5. Then we're gonna drop way down here and play 1 to 3 for an F5 back to G5. And then it goes around again. Have fun working on Roxanne by The Police. Before you go, I've got a free gift for you in the description below. You can get a PDF that's all about soloing. If you're interested in improving your lead playing, it's a book I wrote that you can get for free in the description below called Melodic Expressions. And you can buy this book. It's a published book on the iTunes bookstore for $15 if you want to support me, or you can get it for free in the link below as my gift to you for checking out this video and for being a part of the community here. Keep practicing and we'll see you in the next lesson. Hey friend, John McLennan here, and in this video I want to kick off a brand new series I'm going to be starting here on the channel. If you've been following along, we just finished up with going through every single song from the Beatles album Sgt. Pepper's. We're going to kick off a brand new album series today. We're going to take a look at the Police Greatest Hits. We're going to break down every single song on this album. And I'm so pumped to share these videos with you because Andy Summers' guitar playing is incredible. And there's so much you can learn from his rhythm style and also the lead stuff he did and just some really cool riffs and guitar parts he came up with on these songs. Before we dive in though, I want to hook you up with a gift right away. I put together this awesome fretboard guide, and it's a PDF that's going to show you the 5 must-know chords and scales to play in any style, anywhere on the neck. And you can grab your free copy. It's just one page. I put all of this information on one page and you can print it out, keep it on your music stand, or keep it on your desktop as a super handy resource to help you learn more about the guitar neck. You can grab your copy, just go to johnmclennan.com/fretboardguide or use the first link down below. All right, well with that said, let's break down this song. Let's break down how to play Can't Stand Losing You as recorded by The Police on guitar. Now we're going to start off with this backbeat guitar part for a 4-bar intro, and then I'll go into the verse. We're going to use triads on the top 3 strings, and this is a very common Andy Summers guitar move. Here's what it sounds like. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. All right, so I'm starting out just using 2 chords. We're moving from a D minor to a G minor. Now for the D minor, I'm playing starting on the 3rd string, 2, then 3, then 1. Now as I strum, I'm trying to hit just those top strings. I want to try and mute the other strings. And then I'll hit the chord and then I'll release the pressure of it. Then I drop my strum hand here as well to help mute. So it's a very staccato kind of hit. It's not like letting it ring out like that. It's 1, 2. I just hit it once and then I mute. So it's rest, strum, then you rest right afterwards. Then you go to a G minor. This is on the 3rd fret here, just using one finger on those same 3 strings, 3, 3, 3. And I hit that chord, and then I rest. So it's rest, strum, rest, strum, rest, strum, rest, strum. And we just change back and forth on what's called the backbeat. That's what I'm hitting those chord hits on. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, then Stings comes in with the verse, called you so many times today, and Andy goes to more of a quarter note rhythm now, keeping those staccato hits all on the top strings. So what's going on here is we're starting on that D minor, 1, 2, then we go up to this little passing chord. You could think of this as a D minor 7, part of a D minor 7 chord here, just playing the top 3 strings. 5th fret, 3rd fret, then 5th fret. And then to that G minor. So the first bar, you split it up. You go 1, 2, then you move 3, 4, then you go to G minor, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so it's like a little 2-bar phrase there. Again, notice that I'm hitting the chord and then I'm resting. It's the same kind of thing you hear on like Roxanne and so many other Police songs. You get this quarter note rhythm and you're just kind of chopping away at the strings. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. This goes for 8 bars. Then you go. We play this little pre-chorus section. So here we move away from those triads and now we go to power chords, another really common rock guitar technique that Andy Summers would use all the time. Here we're playing 1, 3, 3, starting on the 5th string. This is a B flat 5 power chord. Then we bring it up 1 string to F and we play it twice. So, okay. And rhythmically, I'm going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. So we're switching on the and there. Then we do the same thing, but we bring it up 2 frets. So it's going to go. Okay, so instead of B flat to F, now we're going to go C5 to G5. Now we do it once. Here we go. Then we go. Okay, and now we're kind of moving out of the pre-chorus, launching into the chorus. So what I did there was C to an A5, which is at the 5th fret, 5, 7, 7. And I start building in 8th notes. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So the whole pre-chorus goes 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1. Okay, and then we go to the chorus, and that's where Sting is singing, I can't stand losing. Here's what it sounds like. Then we kick back into a re-intro there. So we've got a 6-bar progression here for the chorus. We're gonna be building out of that pre-chorus, right, on the A5. Then we shift down 1 string, we go to a B flat 5. And then we go to a G5. So that's gonna be coming up 1 string now. 3rd fret of the low E, 5, 5. And then bring it back up to the A. Okay, so all the same kind of grip. That's the beauty of these power chords, right? Once you get them down, you can move them around all over the neck. Now each chord lasts 2 bars. We're gonna play a driving 8th note rhythm like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and switch. There's a little bit of palm muting going on. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and all downs with the strum hand. Can't Stand Losing You, right? Comes right out of this back to a reintro where we have the backbeat on D minor to G minor. 1, 2, 3. From there, we go on to verse 2, repeat everything again. We play pre-chorus 2. Then we play chorus 2, and chorus 2 actually goes twice through the progression. So I'll play all of that for you. Here's verse 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, then we go to this awesome bridge section that has these kind of floaty sounding chords. We play 11 chords. And what this is I did it with my thumb there a second ago, but you can play it either with the thumb like this or without the thumb. We're gonna play the 6th fret of the low E, 6th fret of the 4th string, 5th fret on the 3rd string, and then 4th fret on the 2nd string. That's gonna go 2 bars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Then you bring it up 2 frets. 1, 3, 4, 2, 3. Then again. Then we go to a D minor. Just play a D minor bar chord here at the 5th fret. 5, 7, 7, 6. And what you do is you just do this big build of 8 bars. This is like, guess this is our last goodbye. You don't care, so I won't cry. You'll be sorry when I'm dead. And all this guilt will be on your head. Okay, then we go back out of that D minor. We go into the pre-chorus. Then chorus. We play the chorus all the way out. We do a double chorus. When we end, we go up to a C in the chorus. But other than that, the rest of the song just jams out on that looping progression. Congrats on making it through this classic Police guitar lesson. Be sure to take your time with those triads and the power chords and all the different rhythms we went through, even to the bridge where it kind of has almost a jazzier sounding chord. There's so much in there that we can work on, but just rewind the video and go over any parts that are unclear, and then go and try and play it along with the recording when you're ready. And to help you even more, make sure to download my ultimate fretboard guide at the first link down below. And this is going to show you the 5 must-know chords and scales to play in any style, anywhere on the neck. And this is just a snapshot of how I think about the guitar neck. It's just a simple 1-page PDF that you can print out, keep on your music stand, or keep on your desktop. And it's really going to help you understand the neck in a whole new way, and it's just a very simple approach that I use, all based on basic open chords. So check that out. Just go to johnmclennan.com/fretboard guide to download your free copy, or use the first link down below. Also, leave a comment down below and let me know your #1 Police song. What's your favorite one? Just comment it down below. Thanks for your support with the videos, and we'll see you in another one real soon. friend. John McLennan here, and welcome back to the next episode of the Police Greatest Hits series. In this lesson, you're going to learn how to play So Lonely as recorded by the Police on guitar. And if this is the first lesson in this video series you've seen, I'm posting a brand new song lesson for every single song on the Police Greatest Hits album. This is their compilation album, and today we're going to look at So Lonely. And this guitar part is so fun to play because it's really only just 4 chords. We're going to use a C, a G, an A minor, and an F. But what Andy Summers does with those chords and the different fills that he plays in between are so cool to work into your rhythm guitar playing, and it almost feels like you're playing lead as you're playing rhythm. So it's not like a boring rhythm part, it's a way to really just spice up some basic changes. And then later in the song, we're going to take those basic chords and move them up a whole step as well and play in the key of D. So it starts in the key of C, then it goes to the key of D and modulates up for the guitar solo. I'm going to break it all down for you step by step, but before we jump in, if you're new, I want to hook you up with something right away. I put together this awesome fretboard guide that's a 1-page PDF that's going to show you the 5 must-know chords and scales to play in any style anywhere on the neck. So this is a simple system that I use to map out the entire fretboard, and it's a super concise PDF. I was able to take all this information and just fit it on 1 page so you can print it out and keep it on your music stand or keep it on your desktop, and it's really going to help you with your fretboard knowledge and just learning more about guitar. So grab your free copy, just go to johnmclennan.com/fretboardguide or use the first link down below. All right, well, with that said, let's break down this song. Let's break down how to play So Lonely as recorded by the Police on guitar. Now, this song is really one main progression for the whole song, but there's some really cool guitar parts, some really cool fills in between the chords, and then later during the guitar solo, we're going to modulate that chord progression. So we're going to play the same progression, but in a different key. So let's start off with the main progression. I'm going to jam a little bit on it, and then I'll break down what I'm doing. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so I'm using 4 chords essentially here. I'm playing a C to a G, an A minor, and an F. So you could use any variation of those chords. Like if you're on acoustic and you just wanted to play the open position chords, C to G to A minor, and then, you know, the 1 bar chord here, or a little F, that'll sound great. Now what I'm playing is I'm playing a bar chord here at the 3rd fret. So starting out with the 5th string, 3rd fret, then 5, 5, 5. That's my C chord. And then I went to a G bar chord. It's like doing this. The normal bar chord that most people would play is 3, 5, 5, 4, 3, 3. But I played a thumb chord version of that. So I omit the 5th string and then a lot of times the 1st string as well. So I'm just playing 3, then 5, 4, 3. Then I go to an A minor, just a standard A minor from the 5th string down, open, 2, 2, 1, open. Sometimes I cover 2 strings with 1 finger there with my middle finger. But most people play it like this, so just your normal A minor there, and then F. Again, you could do a thumb chord, or you could do just the F bar chord. Now I like this kind of thumb chord because I can go, you know, and easily get to this. I feel like I gotta kind of change my hand when I play the F bar chord this way. So I would recommend doing it as a thumb chord. So all together. That's the progression. It's called a 1 to a 5 chord, then a 6, then a 4. Now what Andy does is he does all these little fills at the end of the phrase. Like he'll go, or, okay, and this is just 2 examples of what he does. I think he's kind of just improvising and just playing off of the chord, each time a little different, but this will give you an example of what he's playing. So when we start, kind of palm muting a little bit, and we're going 1 and 2 and. So that's sort of the 5th string, and then the rest of the chord. And then, so bass, bass, chord, chord, then bass, chord, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Then that'd be just a good kind of general groove to practice through the progression. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Then when you get to the F, he'll do things like. Now this song's in the key of C. Here he's just walking down a C major scale, starting on the open B. So open B, then 2nd fret, open, 3, 2, 0, then 3, 2, then back to the chord. So just, then you're right back into the top of the progression. So now that would take the place of the F chord. So in the last bar, you wouldn't play an F, you'd play this lick. And he a lot of times will kind of like hit other strings around it. So it's sort of double stoppy, like hitting the open strings. So that general groove, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, is great. And then sometimes you'll just like hit a whole note and then so you can kind of mix these ideas together and just have a lot of fun just looping that same progression, but then adding different variations. Like, oh, I'm gonna do a whole note here. Now I'll go back to the rhythm. Now I'll do a little fill. And that just creates a cool, interesting guitar part. So here's another one. Sometimes instead of playing the A minor here, he'll play it here. And then he'll do things like, and that's just a cool little fill off of an A minor at the 5th fret, 5, 7, 7, 5, 5, 5. You go, that's 7 on the 3rd string, 5 on the 2nd string, then come down. This is an arpeggio of like a C chord, or you could think an A minor 7, and then slide back down. Right, if you know your pentatonic scale, it's very pentatonic as well. So 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and. So if I put that together with the progression, it would sound like this. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. And then you loop back around. Now, when we go to the chorus, this is where Sting sings "So Lonely, So Lonely." We play the same progression, but we have a slightly different rhythm. That's going to go like this. Okay, so what you do is you start playing all 8th notes. Now there is one guitar that's just like doing whole notes. Going through the progression. And then another one going, doing all the 8th notes. So I'm gonna play the same progression, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and I'm just gonna drive all the 8th notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and with down strums. Then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So this is a little hit here with the drums. We go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So it's the and of 1 and the and of 3. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Ba, ba. Okay, now later in the song, the only other part we need to know is the guitar solo, and that goes. It does the same progression, but everything goes up 2 frets. So we're gonna go D to A, then B minor to G. Congrats on making it through this classic Police tune. Be sure to take your time with each part. Start with just playing the chords, and then as you get comfortable, you want to just loop that chord progression around. Just play it over and over, and then try and drop in some of those different fills and licks in between. And then you'll really start to associate sort of the licks with the chords and see how it connects together. And to help you even more with this, be sure to download my ultimate fretboard guide at the first link down below, or you can just go to johnmclennan.com/fretboard guide. And this is just a simple PDF that's going to show you the 5 must-know chords and scales to play in any style, anywhere on the neck. So this is how I view the guitar, and I was able to take all this information and put it on one page for you. So grab your copy, just go to johnmclennan.com/fretboard guide, or use the first link down below. And before you go, leave a comment and let me know your #1 song that you would like to see me teach here next on the channel. Just comment it down below. Thanks for your support with the videos, and we'll see you in another one real soon. Hey friend, John McClennan here, and welcome back to the Police Greatest Hits series. In this video, you're going to learn how to play Message in a Bottle on guitar. If this is the first video in this series you've seen, I'm posting a brand new song lesson for this compilation album, The Police Greatest Hits, and I'm doing a lesson on every single song, and I've got a playlist going down below. In this video, we're going to dive into Message in a Bottle. But before we dive in, if you're new here, I want to hook you up with something right away. I've got this awesome fretboard guide that I put together that's just a one-page PDF, but it's going to show you the 5 must-know chords and scales to play anywhere on the neck, and this works for any style. It's a super concise, just one-page PDF that you can print out and keep on your music stand or at your desk, and it's really going to help you with your knowledge of the fretboard. So check that out as my gift to you. Just go to johnmclennan.com/fretboard guide or use the first link down below to grab your copy. All right, well, with that said, let's break this song down. Let's break down how to play Message in a Bottle as recorded by The Police on guitar. Now we're going to start off with this main riff that goes through 4 chords. It's got a little bit of a stretch to it. Here's what it sounds like. A 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... So we're using a classic Andy Summers style guitar part here. We're going to start out on the 4th fret of the 5th string, and we're going to make a power chord. So that's 4 and 6. And then what I want you to do is add your pinky up to the 8th fret here. It's like a whole step up on the 3rd string. So it's a bit of a stretch. But don't worry, you don't have to hold all the notes down like this. You could kind of roll through them, But long term, you definitely want to try and get a little sustain as you work your way through the pattern. So it's going to go 4, 6, 8. And notice that each note goes down one string. So 5th string, 4th string, then 3rd string. Then we're going to take this same shape but move it around the neck. So what we're going to do next is we're going to play the 5th fret of the low E. We'll make that power chord, and then you can reach up to the 9th fret. So it's going to go 5, 7, 9. Now I am using my index to ring to pinky fingers, but if it's easier for you, you could also try index to middle to pinky. Some people play it like that as well. So then we're going to take that up 2 frets to the 7th fret, 7, 9, 11. Same thing, right? Just moving it up 2 frets. And then we'll drop it down to the 2nd fret and play 2, 4. Then when you get to 6 here on the 4th string, we're going to slide it up 1 fret. And that's how the riff ends. Now the cool thing is now my hand's in position to start over again at the first pattern there. So C sharp, A, B, F sharp. I'm thinking of that same shape just based off those root notes. So again, C sharp is here, A is here, B is here, and F sharp is here. So now it's got a little bit of a syncopation to it. So 1 and 2 and that comes in, that changes on the and to 2. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So they're actually all changing on the ands, except for the first one is on the downbeat. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and restart. Okay, so take that slow. It's definitely a tricky riff to get down, but it's also a great exercise just to work on your stretching, right? This is a very common Andy Summers guitar sound. And what he would do is when I play a chord like this, it's really based off like a bar chord like this, but then you move that one finger up to, this is called an add 9 shape. So that's what's going on with all these chords is it's like C sharp with the add 9, A with the add 9, B with the add 9, and then F sharp with the add 9. So this would be C sharp minor 9, A add 9, B add 9, F sharp minor 9. That's a tough one to get down there. So with the riff, let's try it together. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and. That continues until the B section. That's where Sting sings, "I'll send an SOS to the world." That's going to go like this. So here I'm playing an A, and really I'm emphasizing the lower strings, so it's more of a power chord, like an A5, 5, 7, 7. But you could also think kind of the full chords, A, D to E, occasionally. So like, see how it's kind of like mainly power chord, and then maybe, you know, on the and there, 1 and 2, and you can kind of hit the full chord. So A, D, E, and then it repeats, A, D, E. Then you go down to F sharp. This is over the words, "I hope that someone gets my." We go F sharp to D. We play it 3 times. Then we go into the chorus. Now, so far with that whole B section, I'm keeping primarily an eighth note rhythm going. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and just all downs with my strum hand. A little bit of palm muting as well, but you can let some of them come out like on the downbeat, like. And then. Okay, and this is over the words message in a bottle. What happens here is we're just playing C sharp minor to A. Okay, C sharp minor is starting on the 5th string, 4, 6, 6, 5, 4. And then just a full A bar chord. It's just 5, 7, 7, 6, 5, 5. Message in a bottle. 2, 3, 4. Then again, message in a bottle. Then F sharp minor. That's 2, 4, 4, 2, 2, 2. That's a minor bar chord on the 2nd fret. Now, this isn't in the song, but sometimes I like to play this chord there. That's a really tough chord, but it's beautiful. It's the 5th string, 4th fret, then the 4th string, 6th fret, then the 2nd fret on the 3rd string, and then open B, open E. And of course, the bass player plays F sharp. So here's the whole B section into that chorus, so you can hear it one time through. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll send an SOS to the world. One, two, three, 4. Then you're back to that main riff. Now, everything goes again. The second time, though, there's a slightly extended chorus. And what we're going to do is we're going to do a few more times between C sharp and A, and then we're going to end on that F sharp minor, and we really hold it for 4 bars. We go 1, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, then back to the riff. Congrats on making it through this incredible Police song. Be sure to take your time with those stretches. If that's a new shape for you, it's definitely going to take some time to get used to that. So I'd recommend you could maybe take it higher up the neck and practice it a little higher up and then slowly work it down. And to help you even more before you go, make sure to download my ultimate fretboard guide at the first link down below. And this is going to show you the 5 must-know chords and scales to play anywhere on the neck, and it works for any style of music. This is going to show you just a simple system that I use for mapping out the neck. So grab your copy at johnmclennan.com/fretboard guide or use the first link down below. And before you go, leave a comment and let me know your #1 song that you would like to see me teach here next on the channel. Just comment it down below. Thanks for your support with the videos, and we'll see you in another one real soon. Hey friend, John McClennan here, and welcome back to the next episode of the Police Greatest Hits series. In this video, you're gonna learn how to play Walking on the Moon by The Police on guitar. If this is the first video in this series you've seen, I'm posting a brand new song lesson for every single song on The Police album, their compilation album, Greatest Hits. And in this video, I'm gonna break down the multiple guitar parts that are on Walking on the Moon. But before we dive into it, I wanna hook you up with a gift right away. If you're new here, I've got this awesome fretboard guide that's gonna show you the 5 must-know chords and scales to play in any style and anywhere on the neck. It's a super concise, just one-page PDF that I put together that just shows you how I map this stuff out. And you can print this PDF out and put it on your music stand or keep it on your desktop as a super handy resource. Just go to johnmclennan.com/fretboard guide to grab your copy or use the first link down below. All right, well, with that said, let's break down this song. Let's break down how to play Walking on the Moon as recorded by The Police on guitar. Now, the song starts off with the drum and bass intro, and then there's this big chord that rings out from the guitar part. So I'll start off with this bass line, and it sounds like this. A 1, 2. And then on top of that, there's a guitar that goes. Just hits this awesome D minor 11 chord. So the first thing that I would do is check out this bass line. So we're gonna play the 3rd fret on the 5th string, and we're gonna go on this note here twice, and then we'll go up to the 5th fret. And this is the notes C up to D. A 1, 2, 3, and 4, and so it's gonna start on beat 3. 1, 2, 3. You hit it, then do a rest, then 4 and... Okay, that's what the bass part is doing. 1, 2, 3, and 4 and 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Ba, ba, da. Okay, that's the note F here on the 3rd fret of the 4th string. Then 2nd fret. Then go to the 3rd fret on the 5th string. And then it restarts. Okay, so Sting's playing that bass part along with the drums, and then the guitar, there's a couple guitar parts. One goes like this. And just hits this awesome D minor 11 chord. And I'm just playing the top 4 strings. I'm playing the 3rd fret here on the 4th string, 5th fret on the 3rd string, then 3rd fret, 3rd fret on the 2nd and 1st strings. So basically I'm doing a bar there with my index finger and then reaching up with that ring finger and getting the 5th fret there on the 3rd string. We just hit this chord. We've got some delay and chorus on there, and it comes in on beat 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you let it ring for the next 3 bars. So it starts on beat 2 in bar 1, and rings all the way through, basically 4 bars. So, bum, ba, da. Okay, and if you put the bass note in there, so you can hear what it sounds like, this is the bass and the guitar combined. That's such a cool chord. It's a D minor 11. This is the root, the 3rd, the 7th, the root, and then the 11th, which is the note G on top. Okay, but don't worry, you don't need to play that note. We'll just play the top 4 strings, because remember, Sting is playing, he's got the root note, so the guitar can kind of just sit on top, play these cool notes like, you know, the 7th and the 11th of the chord get these kind of jazzier extensions. Okay, then on top of that, you know, once the vocal comes in for the verse, there's this backbeat guitar part that goes. Right? And we're back to that big D minor 11. So what I mean by the backbeat is playing on beats 2 and 4. And we're going to use this kind of staccato chord that's a rhythm style that Andy Summers uses all the time. You can hear this in tunes like Can't Stand Losing You. You can hear it in tunes like Roxanne. And what you do is you just hit the chord and then you rest right afterwards. So I'm using one shape but moving it around. The first chord is like a D minor 7 with an A in the bass. So I'm playing, starting on the 4th string. These chords are just going to be 4 strings here. 7, 5, 6, 5. That's your D minor 7 over A. You're going to play 2 bars of that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4. Then you bring it all the way up to the 10th fret. And then the 12th fret, 1 bar each. We're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. My leg don't break, walking on the moon. We can be together, right? And underneath all of that is bass. And then this other guitar, it's ringing out. So I'm going to use my looper pedal, and I'll just give you an example. I played in a couple of these parts, and you hear what it sounds like just loosely played here. A 1, 2. All right, so the only other section you need to know is the bridge, and that's where Sting sings, "Some may say, I'm wishing my days away." So we've got a slightly different progression, but we're gonna keep up that same sort of backbeat feel that we had for one of the guitar parts in the verse. Here's what it sounds like. All right, so I'm using 4 chords here, a B flat, an F, a C, and a G minor. Now all of these chords are played on the top 4 strings. For the B flat, I'm playing 8, 7, 6, 6. Then I'm going to an F triad here, 7, 5, 6, 5. Then C, 10, 9, 8, 8. And then G minor is cool. We're just gonna bring this down 2 frets and then add our pinky onto the 8th fret of the 2nd string. And that gives you 8, 7, 8, 6. Now we're gonna play this 4-bar progression 3 times. With the backbeat, it's gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, switch. Repeat, 2nd time. Third time. Okay, after 3 times, we're gonna do it one more time, but we're gonna leave off the G minor. We're gonna stay on the C just for 1 strum in that 4th bar. So it's gonna go. And then the bass goes. And then you're right back to that first part again. So that was B flat, F, C, 1 more C, and then let the bass take it. And then so you would come back, you would hit that C, and then go down to that D minor 11. So that would go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, bum, ba-dum. Congrats on making it through this incredible Police song. Be sure to take your time with all those different rhythms and playing on the backbeat with those kind of short staccato hits. If that's a new technique for you, be sure to just listen a lot to the recording and try and play and make your guitar line right up with the recording. So it's a real kind of a feel thing where you're just playing those chords on the backbeats, or you're hitting big chords and letting them ring out like that one guitar part that just hits the big D minor 11 chord. Before you go, make sure to grab my ultimate fretboard guide at the first link down below. And this is going to show you the 5 must-know chords and scales to play in any style and anywhere on the neck. It's just a glimpse into how I view the neck for learning all these songs and being able to solo. And it's a super concise, just one-page PDF that you can print out. Again, keep it on your music stand or keep it on your desktop, and it's really going to help you learn more about the fretboard. So grab your copy, just go to johnmclennan.com/fretboard guide or use the first link down below. Also, let me know your #1 song that you would like to see me teach here next on the channel. Just comment it down below. Thanks for your support with the videos, and we'll see you in another one real soon. Hey friend, John McClennan here, and welcome back to the next episode of the Police Greatest Hits mini-series. In this video, you're going to learn how to play The Bed's Too Big Without You as recorded by the Police on guitar. And I hope you all have been enjoying the videos so far. This has been a ton of fun being able to go through these classic Andy Summers guitar parts. And if this is the first video in this series you've seen, I'm posting a brand new song lesson for every single song on the Police Greatest Hits compilation album. And these are some incredible songs with some amazing guitar parts on it, and just going through and learning this style is gonna just level up your guitar playing a ton. Now before we dive into this lesson, I wanna hook you up with a gift right away. If you're new here, I've got this awesome fretboard guide PDF, and it's a one-page PDF that's gonna show you the 5 must-know chords and scales to play in any style, anywhere on the neck. And this is a super useful PDF that you can print out, keep on your music stand or on your desktop, and it's going to help you just make that connection between the chords and the scales. And this is the way that I think about guitar basically when I'm playing anything, whether I'm taking a solo or I'm playing a rhythm part, it all fits into this. And I put it all on one page for you. You can grab it completely for free. Just go to johnmclennan.com/fretboard guide or use the first link down below. All right, well, with that said, let's break down this song. Let's break down how to play The Bed's Too Big Without You as recorded by the Police. Now, in this song, we really kind of have 2 main sections, the verse and the chorus, but I'm actually going to break each section into 2 parts. So the first part of the verse is a 4-bar repeated chord progression, and this is the majority of the verse. Here's what it sounds like. A 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. All right, so I'm using 3 chords here. An A minor bar chord, which I'm playing at the 5th fret like this. 5, 7, 7, 5, 5, 5. Playing all 6 strings. That's A minor. And then I'm moving that up 2 frets to become a B minor chord. And this is 7, 9, 9, 7, 7, 7. Then the last chord shape I'm using is E minor 7. I'm going to do a little trick on this chord, which I'll show you in a second, but the chord shape here is starting from the 5th string, 7, 9, 7, 8. So I've got A minor, B minor, and E minor 7 for the first part here. Now rhythmically, I'm playing on the backbeat with 8th notes. I'm going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... That's the first part. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. I'm just going down, up on beats 2 and 4. So 1 and 2 and then rest 3 and 4 and... So 2 and 4, and then 1 and 3. So 1 and 3 are rests, and 2 and 4 are the strums. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and I'm just sort of dropping my strum hand on the strings and also releasing the pressure with the fretting hand. So 1 and 2. Then again. Now when I get to this E minor 7, we're going to do this cool little pull off that comes in and out throughout the recording. You're going to hear this a lot. It goes. So what it is that chord that we learned, the E minor 7, but we're going to take our ring finger and our middle finger, we're going to strum the chord, and then we're going to pull off and kind of pull on those strings. We'll pull down and re-pluck those strings to basically just our index finger barring down here. So we get this kind of cool lick in there, right? And then if I strum it, they're going to be eighth notes, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So on the downbeat I'm strumming, then on the and I'm doing the pull off, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Then again, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and it's a rest on beat 1 and then the eighth note pull off. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So if I put that together with the first part, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, that's the main part of the verse here. That's going to go 7 times from when Sting comes in singing. So we'll count it like this. 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. Okay, then after the 7th time, what we play is this little variation here. We're just going to play 2 bars. We're going to go. And that's it. Okay, that's the end of the verse. So we've got 7 times on that 4-bar chord progression. Then we add 2 extra bars of just playing basically the first 2 bars of that figure. So A minor to B minor. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Then instead of going 1, like the way we've done in the entire verse so far, we're going to go on to the refrain, and that's where Sting sings "The bed's too big without you," and that goes like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. All right, so for the refrain, we're going to go up. We're going to bring in a new chord here. So we were on the B minor coming out of that verse progression. We're going to go up 1 fret, and we're going to take that minor bar chord. We'll move it up to the 8th fret. We're going to add down our middle finger there to make it a major chord. So this is a C major chord. We're going to play 8, 10, 10, 9, 8, 8. And we'll go from C down to A minor in the first bar. So we're going to go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and with those backbeat strums, beat 2 on C and beat 4 on A minor. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Then we do the riff, 1. But we only do half of it. So remember in the verse we were going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now we're just going to go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, so then that's going to repeat 3 times. So C to A minor, then half the riff. C to A minor, then half the riff. C to A minor, half the riff. Then we go just C to A minor, and then we're going to go to the final part. So let me play all of that so far. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Third time. Okay, then we go. then we have this final section here, and that's where Sting sings, "Without You," and he goes up, and then the band goes. Okay, we've got this cool rhythm here where we play triplets. We're going to a B minor chord, and we're gonna play a bar of quarter note triplets like this. Triplet, triplet. And then in the second bar, we go 1, and we hit just the downbeat. So it's triplet, triplet, 1. Then jump down to A minor and go 2 and 3. So it's triplet, triplet, 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and then we go 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and just like we did in the verse. Remember that riff on the E minor 7 that keeps coming back. So all together, that's gonna go. Triplet, triplet, 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and. So it's a tricky rhythm there, but practice counting it out and then try and play it along with the recording. Congrats on making it through this classic Police guitar song. Be sure to take your time with all those rhythms and different techniques, like that minor 7 where we're doing a pull off on the chord. Those are pretty advanced techniques, so if that's something new for you, just give your hand time to develop the strength and make sure not to overdo it. Don't squeeze too hard on the neck. We want to make sure that we're playing as relaxed as possible. So rewind the video and go over any parts that are unclear, and then when you're ready, try and play it along with the recording. And to help you even more, make sure to download my ultimate fretboard guide at the first link down below. And this is going to show you the 5 must-know chords and scales to play in any style, anywhere on the neck. And when I learned this, it was just a light bulb moment for me when all of a sudden the notes and the chords and the scales and everything came together. And so I put this all on one page for you. Just go to johnmclennan.com/fretboard guide to download your copy, or use the first link down below. Also, before you go, leave a comment down below and let me know your #1 song that you would like to see me teach here next on the channel. Thanks for your support with the videos, and we'll see you in another one real soon. Hey friend, John McClennan here, and welcome back to the next episode of the Police Greatest Hits series. In this video, you're going to learn how to play Don't Stand So Close to Me, as recorded by the Police on guitar. And if this is the first video in this series you've seen, I'm posting a brand new song lesson for every single song on this compilation album, The Police Greatest Hits, and I'm leaving a link down below for the playlist so you can check out all these songs, and they'll be here on YouTube if you want to dive into some serious Police and Andy Summers guitar work. Now in this video, we're going to dive into some awesome guitar parts for this song, and it's a great example of how you can take a chord progression, a very simple chord progression, and come up with some really cool guitar parts to go with it. So in the verse of this song, we're really just going between an E flat to a G minor chord, but Andy Summers comes up with these cool kind of moving thirds guitar parts that use palm muting, and then when we kick into the chorus, there's this really catchy single note line that becomes a hook and something your ear just grabs onto. I'm going to break it all down for you note for note, but before we jump in, I want to hook you up with a gift right away. If you're new here, I've got this awesome fretboard guide, and it's a one-page PDF that's going to show you the 5 must-know chords and scales to play in any style, anywhere on the neck. And this is the system that I use for basically mapping out the fretboard. And you'll definitely be able to see a lot of these chords Like this shape is one of the shapes that you'll see on that page. You'll be able to see kind of how these parts relate to the scales and the chords and how it all clicks together. So I want to give it to you completely for free. Just go to johnmclennan.com/fretboard guide to grab your copy, or you can use the first link down below. All right, well, with that said, let's break down this song. Let's break down how to play Don't Stand So Close to Me as recorded by The Police on guitar. Now there's really two main sections, just our verse progression and our chorus. Now the song starts out with the verse progression, and there's like this sort of pedal that swells in on an E flat, and we're going to be moving between two chords, E flat and G minor. Now you hear these chord stabs at the top, just like this. And this is just a typical Andy Summers guitar part where he's playing triads on the top 3 strings. And again, I said E flat to G minor, so here's his chord voicings. The E flat is this one all the way up here at the 15th fret. I'm going 15, 16, and then 15. And that looks like a D chord, just all the way up at the 15th position. Then he moves down to this G minor here at the 10th position, just lining up his fingers on the top 3 strings, 10, 11, and 12. Then he moves to this E flat, which is an inversion of that chord here. So this would be, again, on the top 3 strings, 12, 11, and 11. Okay, then we go into the verse, and that is again just going 2 bars on each chord, E flat to G minor, and Sting comes in singing da 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 da. And what Andy does, I'll show you these chord shapes first if you just wanted to play the chords. That would be E flat, so 6, 5, 3, 4, 3, and I'm playing from the 5th string down. 2 bars of that, then go to G minor, which would be a bar chord here on the 3rd fret, 3, 5, 5, 3, 3, 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now there's some layered guitars, but one of the parts uses thirds. It sounds a little bit like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. I love this part because it's just such a cool thing to just play 2 notes. They are a third apart, so the first part starts on the note G and B flat, and those are 3 letter names apart, G, A, and then B is the next letter name, so that's why it's called a third. So I'm playing the 5th fret on the 4th string, and then the 3rd fret on the 3rd string. I'm going to do 2 of those, then drop down to 3 and 2 on the same strings, and then 1 and 0. So it's gonna go, and you do 2 strums on each shape. And I'm using a little bit of palm muting as well. And as far as my effects, I have a little chorus and a little delay and a little reverb just to get that sound. Then I'm pushing the amp just to the point where it's like just about to break up, so it's a sweet spot. Okay, so it's going to start on beat 2, and their 8th notes would count it like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... So all of that goes over the E flat chord. And as we learned, it was 2 bars, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... So this would go twice. Then when we go to G minor, we make just a slight change to the part. Here we're going to go. And that starts the same way for the first 2 shapes, but instead of going to 1, 0, this time we're going to go to 3 and 3, but shift up 1 string. So 3 on the 5th string, and then 3 on the 4th string. And And you can keep those fingers the same. You could go like ring finger, index, then just move it down, then add your middle finger, which almost looks like an E chord right there, right? But I'm just gonna play those 2 strings. So all together, 2 times on the first part going here, and then 2 times going to the lower string there. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Now if I bring in the chords underneath, you can hear what that sounds like. 3, 4. From there, we kick into the chorus, and that's where Sting sings, "Don't stand so, don't stand so." And we start out going from a D chord to an A chord, but there's this really cool guitar part that just goes through the entire chorus that goes like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is a great example of just a little hook guitar part. It's just a short little part here that goes over and over and becomes really catchy. I think it's a pretty genius guitar part. Again, coming off that D chord, dun, 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 and then to like an A. So he's starting on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string, then go to the 2nd fret on the 1st string, then back to the 3rd fret, then go up to 5, play that twice, then go to the 3rd string and play 4, 2. So, now rhythmically it's starting on the and of 1. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and then they're all 8th notes. I'm playing down strums here with my strum hand, but also palm muting. So instead of put your palm down and get this sound. And then that repeats over for the whole chorus. So here's what that sounds like. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Congrats on making it through this classic Police tune. Be sure to take your time with those different parts, and then once you feel comfortable, go and play it along with the recording. This track has such a great feel with Stuart Copeland on drums, and it's just so much fun to play along to the recordings because they have just so much life and energy in them. You know, you're going through and all of a sudden you kick into the chorus and like the energy just picks up, and then you would go to that little single note line. So practice it along with the recording. When you're ready, and again, just take it slow, 1 step at a time. And to help you even more, make sure to download my fretboard guide. And this is going to show you the 5 must-know chords and scales to play in any style, anywhere on the neck, and it's going to tie in directly to what we were talking about in this video today with understanding the chord shapes and being able to see kind of little parts in those chords and how it all comes together. So grab your copy, just go to johnmclennan.com/fretboard guide or use the first link down below. Before you go, leave a comment and let me know your #1 Police song. Just comment it down below. Thanks for your support with the videos, and we'll see you in another one real soon. band, John McLennan here, and in this video you're gonna learn how to play Dee Doo 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 Dee Da 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 as recorded by The Police on guitar. And if this is the first video in this series you've seen, I'm posting a brand new guitar lesson for every single song on The Police's compilation album, Greatest Hits. Now in this video, we're gonna break down an awesome guitar part for Dee Doo 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 Dee Da Da Da. And we're gonna start off with some add 9 chords, some classic chords that Andy Summers would use. And then we'll go into sort of a muted arpeggio picking guitar part. And then we'll go to the bridge where you'll discover even more classic Andy Summers style signature guitar moves. And then we'll finish up with this little harmony part that takes us through the entire song. So when you're done with this video, you'll have the whole thing mapped out. Before we jump in though, I want to hook you up with a gift right away. If you're new here, you've got to download my fretboard guide at the first link down below. And this is going to show you the 5 must-know chords and scales to play in any style anywhere on the neck. And this is the system that I use for basically mapping out the fretboard. And I think about it when I'm playing anything on guitar. And I want to give it to you completely for free. Just go to johnmclennan.com/fretboard guide or use the first link down below. All right, well with that said, let's break down this song. Let's break down how to play Dee Doo 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 Dee Da 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 as recorded by The Police on guitar. Now we've got 4 sections that we're gonna cover. We're gonna start off with this intro part that's also used for the chorus. I'll play it for you first and then we'll break it down. Here's what it sounds like. 1, 2, 3. All right, so it's a 4-bar chord progression here, and we're gonna start off on a D chord. And I'm playing this from the 4th string down, open, 2, 3, 2. We're gonna do 2 strums on that, and we're gonna come in on the and of 3. So we're gonna count it like this: 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we got 3 and 4, and I'll just do downs there. Then we go to an A sus2 chord, or like an A add 9. And this is a very common Andy Summers style guitar voicing, which we've seen in a number of these tunes from this Greatest Hits album. So here I'm playing the open 5th string, and then the 2nd fret, and then the 4th fret on the 3rd string there. So open, 2, 4. Now you could finger it. Sometimes I'll use my pinky on that 4th fret and then my index finger here on the 2nd fret of the 4th string. Other times I'll use my ring finger. So I may interchange those, but whichever's comfortable for you, just start with 1. Now the thing that we're gonna add a little bit later is that move right there. So I've got the open 2, and then the 4, which is that add 9 chord. And then later you'll hear this top note coming in. And so that would be open 2, 4, and then 3. So you want to make sure, whether you're doing this fingering or this fingering, that you can get that 3rd fret now on the 2nd string. And that's going to go back to an A chord just with 1 finger. So you kind of have this little move like, and that's like adding the add 9 there, and then also this makes it an A sus4. But it's just, I think of those little harmonies off it, off of the A chord. So we're starting first on just the add 9. So we go. And he does that the very first time, he does it twice. Like that, okay? Then we go to this shape, E add 9. And what that is it's like your typical E chord, but we're gonna make it an Andy Summers style add 9. So we'll take this note here on the 2nd fret in that standard E chord, and we'll move it up to the 4th fret. So the chord becomes this. It becomes open, 2, 4, 1, open, open. That's one of my favorite E chords. The E add 9. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna strum kind of the lower strings. 1 and 2 and then on the and a 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and we're gonna do an up strum on the higher string. So it's like down, 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 up, up. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, and then we're gonna tie that back in with that first D chord, the hits, the 2 hits. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So all together, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Then start again. Okay, so here it is from the top. 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1. Okay, that's the first time. Then the second time you start to hear, remember I said we're gonna bring in that note on the 2nd string. Now you start to hear. And that's the way he plays it pretty much the rest of the tune. So I think the main part is just kind of, then the harmonies. Okay, that goes 4 times, and then we go into this awesome part for the verse that uses 3 chords and some palm muting. That sounds like this. So what I'm playing here is that same A add 9, open, 2, 4. Let me show you the pattern. We're gonna start on the 5th string and we're gonna go 5, 3, 4, and then 5, 3, 4. So it's just sort of, then restart. Then on the last one, we're just gonna go 5th string, 3rd string, because these are gonna be 8th notes, so it's gonna add up to 8 plucks. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. That's the pattern. Then what you do is you change the bass note as you move between 3 different chords. So the first chord is that A add 9. Then you add the 2nd fret on the low E, but you keep these notes here. So what I do is I just grab that note with my thumb. If that's too hard, you could add your middle finger there. That's one way of playing it, or use the thumb. Then that's going to be the 4th fret of the 5th string, then keeping those same 2 notes, 2 and 4, from the first shape. And this becomes a C sharp minor 7. So you have A add 9, 2, 3, 4, then F sharp minor 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, then C sharp minor 7 for 2 bars. 2, 3, 4. Then it restarts. So those are the chords. You know, Sting was probably like, okay, look, I'm going A, F sharp minor, C sharp minor. And then Andy Summers goes, well, what if I did this? Just creates this awesome rhythm guitar part. Between this, I mean, the add 9s here, little melodies, and then going into the palm muting, such a fun part to play. So that continues for the verse. Then we go to the pre-chorus, and that goes like this. then we're back to that first part. So what happens here is we just use 2 chords. D, which is a bar chord here at the 5th fret, starting on the 5th string. 5, 7, 7, 7. And then we go up to E, 7, 9, 9, 9. And that's just 2 bars each. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Change 2, 3, 4. Change 2. Now what I did strumming wise is I did 1 hit where you just hit the chord as a quarter note. 1, and then 2 and. I just do scratch strum. So 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3. Repeat. Then on the last measure, we're gonna go 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and tie it back in with that pickup that takes us back to the first part for the chorus. Then, verse 2. We go back to the verse part, then we play the chorus part. Chorus 2. Now at a chorus 2, we go 1, 2. Okay, and we go to this bridge section. Now the bridge has some cool shapes here. The first one is a B add 11. And what it is from the 4th string down, 4, 4, 4, and then open. Such a cool sounding chord. It's basically like an A chord, right? But just up 2 frets. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I go to a G add 9. Which sounds like this. There's some layered guitar parts, but these chord voicings work nice. So here we're going 7, 7, open 7, starting on the 4th string. And the band, Sting's playing a G bass. So first you have the B bass, then A add 9, and then down to E add 9. Okay, so this A add 9 is up here at the 7th fret, 7, 9, open 7. And then the last chord, it's like an E add 9. Here we're gonna play 2, 4, 2, 2. So all together we've got now rhythmically, these are coming in on beat 3. We're gonna count 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Rest to strum and rest to strum. Okay, the second time we go from this G add 9 and we go into the final part of the bridge. And that goes like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we're back to the chorus. So what I played here was just some double stops. I'm playing 2 strings here, the open 5th string, and then the 4th fret on the 4th string. And we're gonna move that 4th fret up to the 5th fret. We're gonna go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and I kind of palm mute. Do that 4 times. Then we add a harmony. And that's open 4, same, but we add 2 here, and then we bring this shape up 2 frets. 4 times. Then on the last time, we go from this shape to the D. Then. Congrats on making it through this classic Police guitar lesson. Be sure to take your time with this one. There's a lot in there that Andy just kind of seamlessly moves between as he's playing this guitar part. So it starts off with those big chords that are a bit of a stretch, then into the palm muting part for the verse, and then those big chords come back. We've got the pre-chorus part where we've got some muted strums in there, and then finally that bridge at the end where we're using all those cool chord shapes up the neck. So just rewind the video and go over any parts that are unclear, and once you feel comfortable, try and play it along with the recording. And if you're having trouble keeping up, just use the YouTube playback speed. I'll listen to the songs on YouTube and then slow it down just using the playback speed button, and then each day as I get more comfortable, I can bump it up. And that's even a great way to track your progress as well and keep you inspired. And to help you even more before you go, make sure to download my fretboard guide at the first link down below. And this is going to show you the 5 must-know chords and scales to play in any style, anywhere on the neck. And I want to give it to you completely for free. Just go to johnmclennan.com/fretboard guide or use the first link down below. And before you go, make sure to leave a comment and let me know your #1 song that you would like to see me teach here next on the channel. Thanks for your support with the videos, and we'll see you in another one real soon. Hey friend, John McClennan here, and welcome back to the next episode of the Police Greatest Hits series. In this video, you're going to learn how to play Every Little Thing She Does Is Magic, as recorded by the Police on guitar. And if this is the first episode in this series you've seen, I'm posting a brand new song lesson for every single song on this classic Police compilation album, their greatest hits. And I'm gonna leave a playlist linked up down below so you can check out all these videos. Now in today's video, we're covering Every Little Thing She Does Is Magic. And I looked this song up on the internet and really no big guitar teacher on YouTube has covered this song. So I'm excited to jump into it and really break it down. And I think the main reason is that it's really not the most guitaristic song. It's really like a keyboard song. And I recently was watching a Rick Beato interview with Sting, and they were talking about this song. And here's what the guitar player who plays with Sting said about this song.
Funny you mentioned that song because I've never really known what to play on that song.
Yeah, it's very unguitaristic.
I've never really figured it out.
So if the guitar player who's playing with Sting doesn't really know what to play on this song, how do you think all the rest of us feel? So I'm gonna try and go through it and break down a main guitar part that you can use that's gonna kind of get a little bit of the keyboard flavor and then some of that classic Andy Summers sound with the add 9 chords. And it's gonna be a great part for you to work out and play along with the recording. Now keep in mind, this is not an easy guitar lesson. There are a lot of chords to know and a number of different sort of arpeggio picking techniques that I'm gonna use. So it's definitely more of an advanced lesson, but in my opinion, this may be one of the greatest songs that I've ever covered on this channel because the writing and the way it's all put together is so genius. But before we dive in, I wanna hook you up with a gift right away. If you're new and you haven't grabbed my ultimate fretboard guide, you've got to get this. It's going to show you the 5 must-know chords and scales to play in any style, anywhere on the neck. And this is a system that I use for basically mapping out the fretboard. And I want to give it to you completely for free. Just go to johnmclennan.com/fretboard guide or use the first link down below. All right, well, with that said, let's break down this song. Let's break down how to play Every Little Thing She Does Is Magic as recorded by The Police on guitar. Now we're going to start off with the intro progression, and it's 4 bars long, and then that's also used for a big part of the verse, and it just comes back throughout the song. Here's what it sounds like. 1, 2, 3, 4. So let me start off by showing you the progression, and we basically have a G to an A, and then we move the bass notes. So we're going to start off with this shape. It's a G add 9, and I'm playing the 3rd fret of the low E, then muting the 5th string, then open, 2, 3, and then you could include that open high E in there as well. It's a great chord. And then we go to an A sus4. And this is from the 5th string down, open, 2, 2, 3. So I'm doing a bar there with my index finger, and I'm muting off the high E and the low E. So then we go to a G add 9, like this chord, but we're going to put the B in the bass. So this is what I meant by changing the bass notes here, putting what's called the 3rd of the chord in the bass. So here I'm going to play from the 5th string down, 2, open, 2, 3. Then we keep these 2 notes here, but I'm going to switch to these fingers, and then we'll put a C sharp in the bass. And it's like an A sus4 with a C sharp in the bass. So those are our changes. We've got and it restarts. Beautiful progression. A little tricky there. So that's what I would play for that progression. Now there are little piano licks in there like that you can play, and that's starting on the 3rd fret of the 1st string, just 3, 2, 0, then 2nd string, 3, 0. You could do that after the last chord. So add that in there. Now, the technique that I'm using here with the strum hand is called arpeggio picking, but I don't really have a specific pattern. It's more of like a style where you just kind of keep your hand going, and the main rhythm is like 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E. I'm thinking 16th notes in my head. 1 E and a 2 E and a. But I want to start each one of those patterns with the bass note. So I'm creating this bass motion. Okay, then Sting comes in, singing. We do that again. Okay, then we do it one more time, just 2 bars. And we go into the chorus. So here we have some syncopated rhythms. I'm going D, G, A, D, G, A, D, G, A, D. So it's just the cycle of those chords going around. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a. Right, some syncopated rhythms there, changing on those 16th note pushes. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a. Then every little thing she does is magic. So the chorus goes to an A chord here with one finger, then I put the C sharp in the bass, then do a D. This is just from the 5th string down, 5, 7, 7, 7, a D bar chord here. So A, one finger bar, then add the 4th fret on the 5th string, then go to a D like this. Every little thing she does is magic. 1 E and a 2 E and a, again, changing on those 16 notes. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. We do that 3 times. Then we go. Okay, we have what's called a 2-4 bar. So we're just gonna play 1 E and a 2 E and a, then 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a intro. So there I did A to the A over C sharp. Then I went to a new chord here. And a new chord here. This is a B flat add 9. Again, that Andy Summers thing. And the Police thing is the add 9 chord. So we've got 1, 3, 3, 1, 1. It's like a B flat bar chord, right? But we just adjust it to make it an add 9. Then C over F, which is a great sound. I mean, you got this and that sort of sound there. So the easy way to play this is just 3, open, 1. And then you can play the open high E if you want. I'd probably just play these though. 3, open, 1, starting on that 4th string. So then everything goes again. Back to the intro. Then we do the verse. Do this progression 3 times. Last time. Moving on. Chorus. Every little thing she does is magic. Same thing. Okay, the second time we go on to the bridge, but before we do that, we do this again. B flat to C over F. Then the bridge goes like this. Okay, here's the first 4 bars, and this is that I resolve to call her up 1,000 times a day. We go B flat add 9, A minor 7. Okay, that's just from the 5th string down. Open 2, open 1, open. Then we go to G minor, but I'll play this very Police chord here, G minor 11. So that's 3, mute the 5th string, 3, 3, 1. And back to A minor. B flat, A minor. Okay, that's the first 4 bars. Here it is again. And then, but my silent fears have gripped me. Then we go from a B flat add 9 to a C add 9. We just bring it up 2 frets, like this for 4 bars. And then, okay, then we tie it in with that same part that we used before basically the measure before the chorus. D, G, A, D. Every little thing she does is magic. Okay, then we go back, we play a longer chorus. Then we have this final section after the chorus. And that comes out of the chorus. Now I know my love for her goes on. We tie in some of those chords bridge. Okay, we have this last progression. It goes B flat, add 9 to C over F. These are all 2 beats each. Then G minor 11, A minor 7. Then B flat, add 9 to C over F. So that goes. Then we end with a bar of D. Repeat. I'm strumming more like the chorus. Now, as the band gets into it, we start anticipating and pushing all those chords, putting them on the 16th notes, the last 16th note right before the downbeat. So 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a... Okay, then when we end, we just stay on the D. It's a big enough umbrella. It's only me that ends up getting wet. Congrats on making it through this classic Police, every little thing she does is magic guitar lesson. Keep in mind that there's a lot in there between the arpeggio picking techniques, the chord shapes, and the syncopated rhythms and the key changes. Really, you could see from a songwriting point of view, this is a masterpiece of a song. So take your time with it, rewind the video, and go over any parts that are unclear, and just work it out step by step. And then when you're ready, go and play it along with the recording. And to help you even more, make sure to download my ultimate fretboard guide at the first link down below. And this is going to show you the 5 must-know chords and scales to play in any style, anywhere on the neck. And I want to give it to you completely for free. Just go to johnmclennan.com/fretboard guide or use the first link down below. Hope you all are enjoying the Police series so far. I'm having a blast going through these tunes. Leave a comment down below and let me know your #1 favorite Police song. Just comment it down below. Thanks for your support with the videos, and we'll see you in another one real soon. Hey friend, John McClennan here, and welcome back to the next episode of the Police Greatest Hits series. In this video, you're going to learn how to play Invisible Sun as recorded by the Police on guitar. And if this is the first video in this series you've seen, I'm posting a brand new song lesson for every single song on the Police's Greatest Hits compilation album. And this video has some incredible guitar parts in it. We've got really 2 main sections. The verse, which we're going to use sort of a palm muted figure that's based off of power chords. And then the chorus, where we're going to kick into this awesome riff and rock out. I'm going to break down both those parts for you, so when you're done with this video, you'll have everything you need to play right along with the original recording. But before we dive in, I want to hook you up with a gift. If you're new here, I created this awesome fretboard guide that's just a 1-page PDF, but it's going to show you the 5 must-know chords and scales to play in any style, anywhere on the neck. And this is a system that I use and think about when I'm playing anything on guitar. And I want to give it to you completely for free. Just go to johnmclennan.com/fretboard guide or use the first link down below. All right, well, with that said, let's break this song down. Let's break down how to play Invisible Sun as recorded by the Police on guitar. Now the song kind of swells in, it fades in on basically these 2 chords that last 1 bar each. The band is going E flat to C minor. Those are the 2 chords. So the E flat chord you could play here at the 6th fret, starting on the 5th string, just 6, 8, 8, 8, just your standard bar chord there. Then we move that down to the 3rd fret, and we're going to make it minor. So it's going to become 3, 5, 5, 4. So the chords are 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Now the guitar part that Andy Summers plays goes like this. It's a really cool little part just based off those two chords, and it starts with what's called a power chord. So if you know your power chord here, it's really just the first 3 notes there of the full chord that we just learned. So it starts 6, then 8, 8. Okay, and we're gonna arpeggiate those notes. So instead of strumming it like this, we're gonna go and play 6, 8, 8, or strings 5, 4, 3. Now I am doing a technique called palm muting, where I just rest my palm here where the string and the bridge come together, and instead of it sounding like this, I get a little bit of a mute. Now we're gonna start strings 5, 4, 3, then we'll pluck the 3rd string again and slide it up from the 8th fret to the 10th fret. Then we'll come back to 8. So rhythmically, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and up to speed. Then we go down to the 3rd fret. We start the same way, but we're gonna have a little variation here. We're gonna go 3, 5, 5, then slide that 5 up to 7, and then go do a little pull off here. So this can be tricky, you know, if you're on your pinky finger, which I am, you wanna be able to pull off that 7th fret down to 5 there on the 3rd string. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... So both those parts together, which are being basically applied over those chords, E flat to C minor, sound like this. Now here, sort of just moving up instead of, I mean, you could slide it, but I think this one's more a slide. And then, okay, we repeat that. That's the whole intro, and then it goes 7 times once Sting starts singing, okay? Now, on the last time, we go on to the next part. We have this little segue out of this verse section, and that sounds like this. Here's the last time. And then we're into the chorus riff, which is the next part. So here, what I did was I'm playing same as usual, E flat, C minor. Then I go down to the 1st fret and I play exactly this figure, which was on E flat. Now it's gonna be on the note B flat. So I'm thinking about this B flat 5 chord. And then slide it up, then come back to the 3rd fret. So that's 1, 3, 3, slide up to 5, then play 5. Okay, so that's the cool thing about these riffs is you can see how they're based around a chord, and then what you do is just like you move your chord, right? Why can't I move a cool riff? And now I'm playing all these rhythm parts, but I'm playing a really fun guitar part that almost feels like I'm taking a solo or I have a feature, you know, it's like this integral part of the song. So there, then we go to power chords. And we walk down, we're getting to basically a G minor riff. Then the next riff goes like this. So we're trying to get to this note G, but before we get there, we're gonna play the A power chord. It's an A5. Then we're gonna drop down to an A flat 5. So it's like, you could do it here as well. Since I'm kind of here, I just went to that open, and then 4, 6, 6, starting on the low E string for an A flat 5. So A5, A flat 5, then we're gonna start the chorus riff. So coming out of this section, one more time. Okay, and that's just splitting the measure, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 4 eighth notes on each chord. Then we go to the chorus riff. Now for the chorus riff, we're gonna play just one note at a time. That's it, it's basically a 2-bar figure. What we're doing is we're playing the 3rd fret of the low E, then we go to 5 on the 5th string, then 3 on the 4th string. Then come back to 5 on the 5th string, then 3 on the 4th string. And then we're gonna make an octave. And that's 5 on the 4th string, then we jump back down to that first note we started on, so. Now I'm using all down picks here on this riff just to kind of hit it really hard and get a strong sound. Then we start the same way. This time we'll have a variation and go. I love that part. So that's a slide from 3 to 2 on the 4th string. Then play the 3rd fret of the 5th string. Then the 5th fret, or the 3rd fret rather, of the 6th string. So that same root note that we started on. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now when we loop it back around, this last note takes the place of the first note and it rings over. It's like tied. So the first time we're going to start on the downbeat, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then 1 and 2, and then we go from that note back to basically the and of beat 1. Now this riff is going to go 4 times. Then on the very last time, we're gonna jump back up and go back to the verse riff. Congrats on making it through this classic Police tune. Be sure to take your time with those 2 different parts, practice them individually, and then work on that little walk down that's sort of like the segue between those 2. And I would also recommend playing the first part of the song just with more of a cleaner tone, and then when it goes to the chorus, that riff, you could kick on a distortion pedal or just have your volume kind of down a little bit with the distortion pedal and then turn it up a little bit more, and that'll get a little bit more drive for the chorus. And all of that's just gonna add dynamic to the song, and those are things that you wanna do when you're playing these guitar parts with a band. And to help you even more, make sure to download my fretboard guide at the first link down below, and this is gonna show you the 5 must-know chords and scales to play in any style anywhere on the neck. And that sounds like a lot of information, but it's really all just on one page. I was able to compress it down to one page. I want to keep it simple for you so you can put it to use and start getting some results today. So just go to johnmclennan.com/fretboard guide or use the first link down below to download your free copy. Before you go, also let me know your #1 song that you would like to see me teach here next on the channel. And I'll also leave a link down below for the playlist of all of these greatest hits from the Police that I'm putting up here on YouTube for you to learn from. So thanks so much for watching. Hope you're enjoying this series so far, and we'll see you in another one real soon. Hey friend, John McLennan here, and welcome back to the next episode of the Police Greatest Hits series. In this video, you're going to learn how to play Spirits in the Material World as recorded by the Police on guitar. Now this song uses some classic Andy Summers rhythm guitar moves. There's really just two main sections, the verse and then the chorus, and then later in the song the chorus just gets extended a little bit, which is a typical thing that we see on a lot of the Police's tunes. But the first part is going to use some minor 9 chords, some typical Andy Summers style guitar chords, and then we're going to go to a cool guitar part for the chorus that's made up of thirds, which is just these 2 notes right next to each other, these double stops on guitar. Now, one of the things about the verse of this song is the rhythm is tricky to get, and it took me a minute to figure it out, but I found some sort of hacks that I'm going to show you, some ways of counting it that are hopefully going to make it easier for you. Before we jump in though, if you're new, I want to hook you up with a gift right away. I put together this awesome fretboard guide that's going to show you the 5 must-know chords and scales to play in any style anywhere on the neck. And I want to give it to you completely for free. Just go to johnmclennan.com/fretboard guide or use the first link down below to grab your copy. All right, well with that said, let's break down this song. Let's break down how to play Spirits in the Material World as recorded by the Police on guitar. Now we're going to start off with the verse section, and there's really just 2 main sections, the verse and the chorus. Then there's a little extended part that we're going to have after the second chorus, but other than that, that's the whole tune. Now the tricky part for this verse is the rhythm, but I'll start off with the chord shapes and then I'll show you some ways of counting out the rhythm and breaking it down. Here's what it sounds like. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so that's what the guitar is doing. We're playing these upbeats here. And the shapes, those shapes there. We're gonna start out on, again, that classic Andy Summers 9th chord, add 9. Here he's putting it on a minor chord. So I'm on the top 4 strings. I'm going to play 9, then 5, 5, 5. It's a bit of a stretch there. It's like this typical minor triad, but move that root note from A up to B there. That gives you an A minor 9. Now we're just going to strum that chord once, and then we're going to move down to just a normal A minor, which is 7, 5, 5, 5. So then the next shape we're going to go to is a G, and that's same strings from the 4th string down, 5, 4, 3, 3. Then E minor, just a 1-finger E minor here from the 4th string down, 2, open, open, open. So those are our shapes. Now the timing is tricky. What you want to do is you want to start on the and. So you're going to go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. That's it, very slowly, but it's pretty quick in the tune. Now, here's a simple way of thinking about this. You're going to strum the first chord 1 time. Then you're going to strum the next chord 2 times. The next chord 2 times. Then the next chord 3 times. So it's 1, 2, 2, 3. Okay, now we're going to play on all ands. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. But we have to do that combination. Like I said, 1 time, 2 times, 2 times, 3 times. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and restart. Now, so many Police songs, have the guitar going like, And I usually associate that, you know, with that quarter note rhythm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, when I first started playing this tune, I was just feeling that as the downbeat, but it's actually the upbeat. And then what happens is when you go to the chorus, you're a half of a beat off. So switching that over and playing on all the ands is the key. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 you can do all up strums. 3 and 4 and. Then once you get that groove into your body and you play it a bunch of times, counting it out, you'll get it. Then we go on to the chorus, and that goes like this. So here we're playing thirds, which are just 2 notes at a time, these little double stops. We're going to play the 3rd fret and the 2nd fret there on the 4th string and 3rd string. Then we'll dip back to 2 and 0, back to 3 and 2. Then we'll walk up 0 and 0, 2 and 1, 4 and 3, open, back to the first shape. So then again. Then we get off there on the and of 4, then 1 and 2. Back to riff 1 or the verse. Now the second time, coming out of the chorus, as I mentioned, we have that little extension. So we go. Okay, so we go up with some more thirds. So we hold this, that last shape, 3 and 2, and then we go open to 2 and 1, then to 4 and 3, then up to 5 and 5 there. So then walk back down. Then when we get here, we go 2, 0, then open D. So you could do 2 strings there at the end, and then you're back to riff 1. So if we count it out, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then 1 and 2 and so that's the only other section. Then you go back to riff 1. Congrats on making it through this Spirits in the Material World guitar lesson. Be sure to take your time with those guitar parts, from the sort of stretch chords that we're doing to all the upbeats and the rhythms that go on in the verse, and then moving on to the chorus and playing those thirds. It's such a cool guitar part though, just to play those 2 notes at a time and come up with this cool moving line over the chorus chord progression. So take it slow, work it out one step at a time, and to help you even more, make sure to pick up my fretboard guide at the first link down below. And this is going to show you the 5 must-know chords and scales to play in any style, anywhere on the neck. And this is the framework and the system that I use for basically putting it all together, and I want to give it to you completely for free. Just go to johnmclennan.com/fretboard guide to grab your copy, or use the first link down below. Also, before you go, leave a comment and let me know your favorite Police song. Just comment it down below. Thanks for your support with the videos, and we'll see you in another one real soon. friend. John McLennan here, and in this video, you're gonna learn how to play Synchronicity 2 on guitar as recorded by The Police. And if this is the first episode in this Police mini-series that you've seen, I'm posting a brand new song lesson for every single song on the Police Greatest Hits compilation album. In this video, we're gonna dive into Synchronicity 2, and this song has some incredible guitar parts in it. It starts out with this sort of F-sharp minor, kind of double stop guitar part up high, and then we're gonna go through a bunch of chords and some really cool palm muted guitar parts, and we're also gonna use some arpeggio picking. I'm gonna break the whole thing down for you top to bottom, but before we dive in, I wanna hook you up with a gift right away. If you're new here, you've gotta download my fretboard guide at the first link down below, and this is gonna show you the 5 must-know chords and scales to play in any style, anywhere on the neck. And this is the system that I use for basically mapping out the fretboard, and I think about this when I'm playing anything on guitar. So whether I'm going through guitar parts like on this song, or I'm taking a solo, or improvising, this is how I think about it, and I want to give it to you completely for free. Just go to johnmclennan.com/fretboard guide or use the first link down below to grab your copy. All right, well, with that said, let's dive into this lesson. Let's break down how to play Synchronicity 2 as recorded by The Police on guitar. Now we're going to start off with this opening pedal that's all based around an F-sharp minor chord. And the groove is like an 8th note groove, just... And Andy comes in with this guitar part up high that's using basically a double stop. It sounds like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now this goes on for the intro until we come out of it. We go and go into the verse. But what this is really just 2 notes here. I'm playing the 9th fret on the 3rd string, and then the 12th fret on the 2nd string. And I'm gonna do a pull off from 12 down to 10 on that 2nd string, but I'm gonna leave the 9th fret there on the 3rd string like this. Now, it's a little bit of a syncopated part. It starts on the and of 1 and goes 1 and 2. So you pull off to the 2nd beat there. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. That's the first bar. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now that's on the and of 1, 1 and 2. Then on beat 3, 3 and 4 and. So and a 1, beat 3, and then the and a 4 are what you're plucking on, so. Then in the next bar, we go 1 and, we do the pull off on the and of 1, 1 and 2, and then we go 3 and 4 and end with just 8th notes on beats 3 and 4. And then we start again. So altogether, it's a 2-bar part. Sounds like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and up to speed. Now what this is based around is really this bigger chord here, which is F-sharp minor 7. That's just 9, 11, 9, 10, 9. So you could hold that chord down, sort of strum that riff in the chord. I've seen some videos of Andy playing this live, and he seems to go even finger style. He sometimes stashes his pick and... That's a cool way of playing it as well. So that goes for the intro. Then we come out of that and go and just play these 2 notes here, the 7th fret of the 3rd string, then the 7th fret of the 4th string. Then we go. This is such a cool part. We're starting out in that open A string, then we're playing the 2nd fret of the 3rd string, then the 4th fret of the 5th string to the 2nd fret again on the 3rd string. So first one's on the beat, and then we syncopate the next one. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then we go. It's again just more single notes here. I'm playing the 4th fret of the 3rd string. Then again, so I'm going down there to the 2nd fret. 4 4 4 4 2 4 4 4 4 4 2 2. So all together the verse goes. Alright, so that's sort of like a basic way of playing that. Now if you want to spice it up a little bit, you could add chords with it. And what these chords are here are A to A over C sharp, and then a G add 9. Again, that typical sort of Andy Summers add 9 chord that he uses all the time. You know, it's like that sound. So if I put chords with it, it'll sound like this. 3, 4. So either way, or just single note, that sounds good too. So from there, we come out of this verse into the pre-chorus. We play some really awesome chords. Here's what that sounds like. So we're going to an A chord here, and I'm just playing that with one finger. Then we're going to do this classic sort of Keith Richards guitar part, right? We're going to play a D over A. So we'll keep that A in the bass, and then we'll play 4, 2, 3. Then we go to an A diminished, and then back to a D over A. For the A diminished, I'm playing, starting on the 5th string, open, 4, 2, 4. And it sounds almost like a classic sort of blues progression, right? But a little twist to it. I love that. Now these chords, first the A starts on the beat, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and then we change on the and. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and repeat. Second time, we come off this D over A and we go to the chorus, and that goes. I love this part. So this goes to a really cool palm muted part here that goes between a D minor 7 and a D minor 6. Two great chords. Now all of this is happening on the 4th, the 3rd, and the 2nd strings. Start with this chord. We're going to play open, then 5, then 6. Then we're going to move this note down 1 fret. That's going to go open 4, 6. So we've got this chord and this chord. That's D minor 7 to D minor 6. Now we got this little picking pattern, arpeggio picking pattern, that uses palm muting here with the strum hand. We're going to play, this is the pattern. It's going to go 4, 4, 3, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3. Those are the strings that I'm counting here. 4th string, 3rd string, 2nd string, 3rd string. Now each note is played twice. We're going to go with a palm mute. Then we drop this middle finger, or whatever finger you're using, 5th fret goes down to 4. So we just alternate those two. Now, after the third time here, we jump up to this E7 sus4 chord, and I'm just using one finger there to get 3 strings on the 7th fret here. The 5th, 4th, and 3rd strings. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and again, syncopation, right? Coming in on those upbeats. So that's gonna sound like this. Then we have this final section, which is this Many Miles Away, sort of like a post-chorus. We're gonna play this. Back to the verse part. So what I played here was, again, some more arpeggio picking. And there's a little pattern we're gonna do. We're gonna go through these chords, and I'll show you the picking pattern first. The idea is that we're gonna play the root note of each chord, or the bass note. So if the first chord's A minor, add 9, like this. It's like an A minor with that index finger off. So we're gonna start with that bass note. Then we're gonna go up, we're gonna do this pattern. 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 2. That's it. So we're gonna repeat that through each chord. So see what I did there? I changed the chord. The next chord is F with an A in the bass. So I keep the A in the bass, and then I play 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. I'm saying the frets there, but I'm keeping that picking pattern the same with strings 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 2. Then I go to a G. Now here I'm playing that G bass note down here on the 6th string. Then 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 2. Then go to D minor, like this, with an F in the bass. Then E. Then you hear this this is a really cool sound. Right? You take that E and you move it up 1 fret, and then come back down. And then we finish with, we do this that we played earlier here. You can do the same notes here like this. That's the 3rd fret of the 2nd string to the 2nd fret of the 3rd string. So all together it goes. Now the first time we go back to the verse, then later we go back to that opening pedal. Then we go back, we do everything again. At the final ending, we basically just do this vamp from an E and then just moving that up a half step. Kind of go to more of a strum there. Congrats on making it through all those guitar parts for Synchronicity 2 as recorded by the Police. I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to rewind the video and go over any parts that are unclear and just take your time. There's a lot in these songs, from all the different techniques you're going to be developing to the new chord shapes, and it takes time for your hands to develop the muscle memory to put it all together. So be patient, but keep going. You got this. And to help you even more, make sure to download my ultimate fretboard guide at the first link down below. And this is going to show you the 5 must-know chords and scales to play in any style, anywhere on the neck. And this is a system that I use for playing guitar, and it's how I think about just mapping out the notes and putting it all together. And I want to give it to you completely for free. Just go to johnmclennan.com/fretboard guide or use the first link down below. Also, before you go, leave a comment down below and let me know your #1 Police song. Just comment the name of it down below. Thanks for your support with the videos, and we'll see you in another one real soon. Hey friend, John McClennan here, and in this video you're going to learn how to play Every Breath You Take as recorded by The Police on guitar. Now I'm going to walk you through this classic Andy Summers guitar part note for note through the entire song. Now keep in mind that this guitar part is pretty difficult to play, and he uses these stretch chords. He uses a lot of what are called add 9 and minor 9 chords, and then as he goes through it, the trick is he's arpeggio picking, and so he's hitting individual notes of the chords, so it's tough to make those stretches and get all the notes clean. So just keep that in mind as you work through this lesson, and if it's too hard, you could try moving it up the neck, like you could take the main riff and just move it higher up, and then slowly work your way down. Now before we dive in, I want to hook you up with something right away. At the first link down below, I've got a free tab sample pack. And these are some exclusive handouts that go along with lessons here on my YouTube channel. And they're just going to make learning from my videos so much easier because you'll be able to follow along with the handouts that I have for you. So grab your copy at johnmclennan.com/tabs or use the first link down below. All right, well, with that said, let's dive into this song. Let's break down how to play Every Breath You Take as recorded by The Police. Now I'm going to be showing you this in the key of A flat, which goes along with the original recording. Now keep in mind that a lot of times I've seen them play this live on the internet in the key of A, which does make it a little easier because the chords aren't as far of a stretch. But I'll show you this in that original key, and then you can always move it up and make it easier just by moving everything up 1 fret. So let's start with the intro. And this is the same chord progression that's used for our verse. It's 8 bars long. Here's what it sounds like. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and... All right, this is based around a couple chords here, and one of the signature chord shapes that Andy Summers uses all the time is the add 9 chord. And the way you can play it is you take just a basic major chord here, like this, an E shape bar chord, sort of the way that I would think about it, and then move your pinky up a whole step. So it's a bit of a stretch, but that's the chord. A flat, add 9. Now we're gonna play this riff based off of that shape. So instead of keeping, I mean, you could keep your fingers just like that. That's pretty hard. The way that I do it is I put my index finger here and then middle finger here and then pinky up on that add 9, and then I take my index finger and reach it down to that third string and then come back. So that's 4, 6, 8, and then 6, 5, 8, 6, 8 for the frets there. Or I could just say the strings, and that would go 6, 5, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5, 4. Okay, now they're all eighth notes, so 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Every note should be even. So that's what we do for the first shape. Then we move that same thing down all the way down, to the first fret here. So it's gonna be 1, 3, and 5. These are some stretches here. This is a tough guitar part, really tough guitar part. You can see my hand, even my shoulder kind of like dips down a little bit to get this. And I'm very much just stretching with that pinky there and just reaching up as far as I can go. So 1, 3, 5, 3, and then this time it's gonna be a minor chord. So instead of the major third here, we're gonna drop that down to the first fret. And we get that sound, which is really a minor chord. It's like a minor 9. You know, if I did it up the octave, it would be like this. It's basically the add 9 shape, like this, but making it minor, right? I wouldn't do it on A flat because this song's in the key of A flat major, but you could go here, which is F minor, relative minor, and that works. So then the last part goes to D flat. So here, this is 4, 6, 8, 4, and then you bring that pinky back. And the picking pattern is 5, 4, 3, 5, and then 3, 4, 5, 4. Then from there, you go up a whole step and do the same thing. So all together, it's gonna go. Then we go back to the first chord. Then the melody. Right? Then Sting comes in singing. Then what you do is you do the same thing again, but the second time you go. To the F minor. So instead of going to A flat like you did the first time, the second time you go. But basically you're just plugging in those riffs over each chord. So that's A flat, F minor, D flat, E flat, which is really just a 1, 6, 4, 5 chord progression. But it's got that really cool guitar part to it. So the second time we go to the F minor, then we go back, we do it again, we go back to the A flat. And then the lyrics go, oh, can't you see? And we go to this pre-chorus. That goes like this. 3 and 4 and. Okay, so that is going to a D flat 9. So it goes to the 4 chord, which is right underneath, and you go. That's all familiar. But then here you go. And you make like a D flat 7. Right? It's that sound. So what you do is you play the power chord and then take your pinky off. And then back to A flat. Then you take this same shape and you bring it up 2 frets, and you've got B flat, and then go to E flat. After this, we go to a verse again, but we take the second ending. So again, if you're having trouble, just click the link below where you can get the handout. Here, we're playing the verse. And here we go to F minor, right? Like we did earlier. And then we go to the bridge. This is one of my favorite parts of the tune. It's so genius. So here the guitar just plays two chords. We're gonna go from an E to an F sharp, okay? And we're just gonna let them ring. We're gonna do a big strum and then let it ring for 8 counts like this. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we'll go up to F sharp, do the same thing. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. E again, repeat that. And then we finish with, I keep crying, baby, baby, please. Okay, so it changes keys when we go to that E part. Since you're gone, I've been lost without a trace. Da, 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 da. And then I keep crying, baby, baby, please. And he hits that note with the vocal melody, and that gets you back to the key of A flat. Congrats on making it through this classic Every Breath You Take guitar lesson. Remember that this is an advanced guitar part, and those stretches are some serious stretches. So you never want to force a chord, you just want to take it slow. And again, like I said at the beginning of this video, try playing it up higher if it's too hard down in these lower positions, and that'll just give you a little bit more room because the frets are going to be closer together, so it'll be easier to reach the chords. And then each day you could move it down, like just try slowly bringing it down 1 fret. And over time, your hands are gonna stretch out. And to help you even more with this, be sure to download my free tab sample pack at johnmclennan.com/tabs. And this is gonna give you some exclusive handouts that go along with lessons here on my YouTube channel. And they're just gonna make learning from my videos so much easier. Before you go, let me know down below your #1 song that you would like to see me teach here next on the channel. Just comment it down below. Thanks for your support with the videos, and we'll see you in another one real soon. Hey friend, John McClennan here, and welcome back to the next episode of the Police Greatest Hits series. In this video, you're going to learn how to play King of Pain as recorded by the Police on guitar. And if this is the first video in this series you've seen, I'm posting a brand new song lesson for every single song on the Police Greatest Hits, their compilation album. And this is episode number 14. It's track number 14. We're going in chronological order. And this is an incredible song. It's called King of Pain. Now we're going to start off with just these power chords that move back and forth just a whole step apart. It's this iconic intro, and then Sting comes in with this beautiful melody, and I'm going to take you through all the sections of the song, all the way through to the bridge and the keyboard parts, all the way to the very end of the song. Before we jump in though, if you're new and you haven't downloaded my fretboard guide yet, you've got to do that at the first link down below. And this is going to show you the 5 must-know chords and scales to play in any style anywhere on the neck. And this is a system that I use for basically mapping out the fretboard, and I put it all on one page for you. It sounds like a lot of information, but it's all just on one page, so you can download it, print it out and keep it on your music stand or on your desktop as just a super handy resource. As you learn songs like this and lots of other songs, it will give you a framework for thinking about the neck. So I want to give that to you completely for free. Just go to johnmclennan.com/fretboard guide or use the first link down below. All right, well, with that said, let's break down this song. Let's break down how to play King of Pain as recorded by The Police on guitar. Now we're going to start off with the intro. It's 8 bars long and it goes between just 2 power chords. Here's what it sounds like. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm starting out on a B5 power chord. I'm playing the 2nd fret here of the 5th string and then the 4th fret on the 4th string. Now I use my pinky finger on power chords a lot. You can use your ring if that's more comfortable, or pinky, whichever feels good. And then we're gonna go to an A5 next. And that's just the open A string and then the 2nd fret on the 4th string. So just those 2 strings and 2 chords. Now the first chord is on the beat, and then the next one is on what we call the and of 2. So you could count it like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 then it goes again. Now, if you want to sound more like a keyboard, you could use a technique called hybrid picking. And that's where you put your pick on the 5th string, and then the adjacent string, that 4th string, we're going to play that with our middle finger of our finger picking hand and actually pinch the strings together. So instead of, it becomes, you get that cool sound where the notes happen at the same time. So this is a good song. This is a good song to just kind of experiment with that technique if that's new for you. Then it goes again. Then Sting comes in singing, you know, there's a little black spot on the sun today. And that goes like this. Okay, we've got a little variation to the progression. It starts the same way. We go B to A 4 times. Then we have a little variation. So what that is it's like going down to a G here, 3rd fret of the low E, and then 5th fret on the 5th string. Now, you could just play power chords and go G to A. That's probably the easiest way. Or you could bring in another note and get a G major 7 to A. And that is 3, 5, and then 4 there on the 4th string. And then to just the same old A. And then we go. Okay, so that's how the progression ends. So you go the 4th fret on the 5th string, and then 4th fret as well on the 4th string, and then you go to 4 and 2, like this. Then you go to 5 and 4, and then 5 and 2. So then back to the top of the verse. Okay, then we go to the chorus. Okay, and that's the I've stood here before in the pouring rain, and we've got this little kind of roundabout chord progression. And And it's all based around this D5 shape, which is a D power chord. Open, 2, and then 3 here. And what you do is you play that chord, but then you move the bass note. So it's like D5, then you put an E in the bass. So you get D5 over E. Then you put an F sharp in the bass, which is D over F sharp, and then put a G in the bass, which actually makes it like a G add 9 chord. So all of that is like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and on the beat, then syncopate. On the beat, syncopate. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and 1 and 2 and you hold this G add 9. Then we go back to the verse progression. Now in verse 2, there's a slightly different rhythm. We're gonna play this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then back to chorus 2. So what's going on here is we're gonna use power chords like what we did, but we have a different rhythm. We're gonna go from B to A 4 times, then we'll go G to A, G to A. So it's gonna go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3 and 4. So it's B, 1 and 2 and 3 and. On the and of 3, we'll go to that A. Then we'll jump back up to B on the and of 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and. Then again switch to the A on the and of 3 there. So then do that again. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Then we do G to A. Same rhythm, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Then we finish with just an F sharp 5 to G5. So that's the 2nd fret, 2 and 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2, 3, 4. Then stood here before inside the pouring rain. So you could go back, you could play it same as before. Now what I'm doing is just adding a little arpeggio picking. So you could, play it like this, or you could add arpeggio. You could also do it in power chords like this. Now later we have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. Kind of syncopate, then on the beat. After that, we go to the bridge, and we've got basically an A to a G, but we're gonna play this guitar part. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm using an A triad here, just up at the 5th position. I've got my ring finger on the 7th fret of the 4th string, then 6, then 5, just all lined up in a row there. I'm gonna strum it 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and that's A. Then we add the pinky to make it an A6 and then go back to A. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So on beat 1, then beat 3, then the and of 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Then we go to a G major 7, which I play like this. 5, 7, 7. So that's starting on the 4th string, and I just go 2 strums. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. So it's 3 and 4 that we play the G major 7. 2, 3, 4. And then we go to the guitar solo, which is just the verse progression again. Now, out of that solo, we go to a C, and then there's like this little keyboard interlude, and then that takes us back to the verse again. And then we just fade out. On the chorus. Congrats on making it through this lesson on how to play King of Pain as recorded by The Police on guitar. Now there's a lot in there from the different rhythms and the different guitar parts, whether you're playing hybrid picking at the top to going into power chords to going into all those slash chords, you know, where you take a D chord and you put the E in the bass and the F sharp and the G. And it's just an incredible arrangement and an amazing song. So take your time with this one and just rewind the video and go over any parts that are unclear. And then when you're ready, try and get it up to speed and play it along with the recording. And just diving into these guitar parts is going to do so much for your guitar playing and just connect new areas of the fretboard and really improve your musicianship. So to help you even more as you put all this together, make sure to download my fretboard guide. And you can get that at the first link down below, or just go to johnmclennan.com/fretboard guide. And this is a PDF that's going to show you the 5 chords and scales that I use to play anywhere on the neck and works for any style. I want to give it to you completely for free. Just go to johnmclennan.com/fretboard guide to download your copy. Also, before you go, leave a comment down below. Let me know your #1 Police song from this Greatest Hits album. This is an incredible song, and we've got 2 more left to cover here on the channel. So looking forward to jumping into those with you as well in the future. Thanks for your support here with the videos, and we'll see you in another one real soon. Hey friend, John McLennan here, and welcome back to the next episode of the Police Greatest Hits series. In this video, you're going to learn how to play Wrapped Around Your Finger as recorded by The Police on guitar. Now, if this is the first video in this series you've seen, I'm posting a brand new song lesson for every single song on the Police Greatest Hits compilation album. And these tracks and guitar parts are incredible. And this is actually the second to last episode. So we've got one more song we're going to dive into next week. But if you haven't checked out the playlist, I'll leave it linked up down below where you can see all of these song lessons. And you can go through and learn these guitar parts and have a ton of fun along with me. This has been a blast, so thanks so much for tuning in. Now, before we dive into this episode, I want to hook you up with a gift right away. I put together this awesome fretboard guide that's going to show you the 5 must-know chords and scales to play in any style, anywhere on the neck. And I want to give it to you completely for free. Just go to johnmclennan.com/fretboard guide or use the first link down below to grab your copy. All right, well, with that said, let's break down this tune. Let's break down how to play Wrapped Around Your Finger as recorded by The Police on guitar. Now, we've got 3 main sections we're going to cover. The first part is the intro, and this is also used for the verse, and it comes back later in the song as well after the chorus as like a little reintro or interlude. Here's what it sounds like. 1, 2, 3, 4. right, so these are essentially the keyboard chords that are going on here, and I was playing it without a pick. So I was just, stashing my pick here in between my fingers and just pinching the strings, because when we go to the chorus, we're going to go to more of a strum with a pick. So I still want to keep it handy. So you could copy me, or you could just strum it as well, and that sounds good too. So let me show you the chords that I'm using here. I'm using an A minor. We're essentially kind of going from an A minor to an E minor, or an E minor 7. So here, A minor is played from the 5th string down, just open, 2, 2, 1. And you could strum all the way to the high E. I was just kind of playing those middle strings there. Then I moved up to this chord, which is a G here. It's like a little G triad with an A in the bass. So what I'm playing is open A, then 5, 4, 3. So we're gonna go. Okay, we've got this little rhythm. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and it's like bum, bum, bum. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and I'm using all downs there, or you could pinch the strings. Then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So that's the and of 1, the and of 2, 1 and 2, and then switch on beat 3 in that second measure to the next chord and play 3 and 4. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. That's the first 2 bars. Now again, this is just a general feel, but that will work as a rhythm for this part. Then we're going to do the same first bar again, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and on the A minor. Then in the last bar we'll go 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Okay, and this is an A minor. You could even go to E minor 7, which would be just all open strings. This is pretty cool. It goes. Okay, so that's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and all of that's on A minor. Then I'm just gonna take off my fingers, go to E minor 7 and play 3 and 4 and just open strings on beats 3 and 4. So 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then reset. So let's try that together. We'll play it 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Halfway. Okay, then out of this section, so that repeats over and over. Then we go to the I'll be wrapped around your finger. This is the chorus. We're gonna play this. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're back to that re-intro. So we've got a couple new chords here. We start off the chorus going to a G. And notice I'm playing a G without that index finger. It's like a G5. That's gonna last for 2 bars. Then we're gonna go to F for 2 bars. And you could play any F that's comfortable for you. You know, I do this thumb chord. And when I play this chord right now, I'm not playing that high E string. So I'm just playing strings 6 to 2. So we've got 2 bars of G, 2 bars of F. Now rhythmically here, we're gonna play this rhythm that's like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. So we're hitting the downbeat and then pushing the and of 2. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. Go to F. Then again. Then we go to E minor, 2, 3, then D minor, which is from the 4th string down, open 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, then the intro. Okay, then everything goes back, we do another verse, we do chorus 2, then we go back to the intro again. Now here's where we get to the final part. This is the final verse. And the cool thing about this song is the final verse is like a variation, okay? So it's a slightly different progression and different rhythm. I'll play a little bit of it for you. Here's what it sounds like. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, this is where Sting sings Devil in the Deep Blue Sea, okay? So that's the top of this verse, this final verse that has this variation, okay? So we've got this chord progression. It starts out A minor to E minor, F to G. Okay, all of these chords are 1 bar each. Then D minor, E minor, F, G. Okay, so it's a little 8-bar phrase there. 1, 2, 3, 4, E minor, F, G, it's just climbing up, then D minor, E minor, F, G. Okay, that's the first half of it. Now rhythmically here, we're gonna go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and we're gonna play 1, the and of 2, and then beat 3. 1 and 2 and 3. Then E minor, 2 and 3, 1 and 2 and 3, G. Okay, then we do all of that again, but in the last bar, instead of G, we're just gonna stay on F. So it's gonna go. Back to the chorus, I'll be wrapped around your finger. Then from there you go back to the chorus and then you go back to that intro and you just fade out on that intro jam. Congrats on making it through this lesson on how to play Wrapped Around Your Finger as recorded by the Police on guitar. Now be sure to take your time with all those sections, whether you're starting off with that intro figure where you're playing without a pick and then going to playing with a pick. Just work it out part by part, and then when you're ready, try and play it along with the recording. I really recommend practicing along with the songs. So just put on the track and try and play along. And to help you even more, make sure to download my ultimate fretboard guide at the first link down below. And this is going to help you connect the dots on the fretboard, and it's going to show you the 5 chords and scales that I use to play in any style and put it all together. So just go to johnmclennan.com/fretboard guide or use the first link down below and you can download this PDF. Also, before you go, leave a comment and let me know your #1 struggle with guitar right now. Just comment it down below. Thanks for your support with the videos, and we'll see you in another one real soon. friend, John McLennan here, and welcome back to the final episode of the Police Greatest Hits series. In this video, you're going to learn how to play Tea in the Sahara as recorded by the Police on guitar. Now, if this is the first video in this series you've seen, I've posted a brand new song lesson for every single song on this classic Police compilation album, their greatest hits. And this has been so much fun going through all of these songs and really the incredible writing and guitar parts that is in these tunes that we can break down. So I hope you've enjoyed following along with these videos, and I'm going to leave them all in a playlist down below so you can always come back to these videos and learn any ones that you haven't learned or want to learn, or just review any ones that you're working on. I'll leave them up here on YouTube for you to access completely for free. Now, before we dive into this video, if you're new here, be sure to download my fretboard guide at the first link down below. And this is a PDF that I put together that's going to show you the 5 must-know chords and scales to play in any style, anywhere on the neck. And this comes in really handy, especially when we're breaking down guitar parts like what we've done in this series and what we're going to do today. So in this video, we're going to break down how to play Tea in the Sahara. And the guitar part is interesting on this song. It's very sort of ambiguous and has more of like an ambient style of playing. So there's a lot of reverb and swells with this guitar part, creating more of just an ethereal sound. There's 3 sections you need to know, what I call the vamp, which is how this song starts off, then the verse and the chorus. All right, well, with that said, let's break this song down. Let's break down how to play Tea in the Sahara as recorded by the Police on guitar. Now, we're gonna cover 3 sections, and these are the 3 sections that you need to know to make it through this tune. The first one is just a vamp, and then we have the verse and the chorus. So let's start off with the vamp, and really this begins with kind of drums and bass, and the bass line is doing this. And it's really all based around a C sharp minor chord here. So that could be played at the 4th fret, starting on the 5th string, just 4, 6, 6, 5, 4. Okay, now Sting is playing just this single note here, playing the 4th fret of, the 5th string here, twice, then going back to the 2nd fret, then back up to the 4th fret. And those are just 8th notes. 1 and 2 and 3, and then you rest. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, then and there's this little pickup, into the repeat of that basically. So here I'm going to play the 4th fret of the low E and then roll my finger back to the 5th fret. So da 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 da, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and so that's basically the general groove there. Then the guitar on this track is a little bit ambiguous. It uses more of like an ambient style of playing. So there's a lot of like swelling in on chords, and you may add a little extra reverb and maybe some delay. Like I'll turn that on, you can kind of hear. Some people use a volume pedal. You can also just use your volume knob. Just to kind of roll in some of those chords. And that's what's happening. So the drum and bass are grooving, and then you've got just, some real, like, here's a nice C sharp minor 9. And this is the 4th fret starting on the 5th string. 4, 2, 4, 4, open. That's a great chord. Just. So I'll play that over. Here's the bass line. Might sound something like this. So that's more of like an ambient approach where you play just specific chord voicings, like there I ended on that sort of minor 6 sound. I'm playing the 4th string on the 9th fret, then 9 on the next string down, then 11 there to get that kind of sound that you hear on the track. So that's the vamp, and basically you're just grooving on that one chord. And then from there, you go into the verse, and the verse is where Sting comes in singing, and here's an example of what you could play over the verse. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, the verse just goes between two chords. It's essentially F sharp minor and then A with 2 bars each. Now the bass is like kind of this push on the and of let's see, 1 and 2 and on the and of 2. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So instead of an F sharp minor like this, I might kind of make these chords a little bit more Andy Summers style and play like something like this. And that's a great chord just from the 5th string down. 4, 4, 2, open, open. It's an F sharp minor 11. And then I'm going to go up to an A add 9, which looks like an E chord just up here in 6th position. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. That goes 4 times. All right, from there we go to the chorus, and that's where Sting sings Tea in the Sahara. Here's what that sounds like. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we go back to the verse. So what I played here was just 3 chords, an E, an A sus2, and then a B7 sus4. So I'll show you those shapes. E is just all 6 strings, open, 2, 2, 1, open, open. And that's gonna go for 2 bars. Then I'm gonna go to an A, but I'm gonna make it sort of Andy Summers style, so I'm gonna not play A like this, I'm gonna open up that 2nd string. Get this sus2 kind of sound, open, 2, 2, open, open. And then B7 sus4, which is just, looks like an A chord, right? But these are brought up 1 string. So from the 5th string down, 2, 2, 2, open, open. So this section is 4 bars long. And again, the melody, tea in the Sahara with you. And you can use just a very common strumming pattern here. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and just the old down, down, up, down, up, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Then we go back to the verse. Four times again. Third time. And we go to the chorus. Tea in the Sahara. Okay, after the 2nd chorus, we go to the vamp. We go back to the C sharp minor 9 there. Then we go back, we play the verse again, we play the chorus, and then we have the vamp. So we're just using those 3 sections. Congrats on making it through this lesson on how to play Tea in the Sahara as recorded by the Police on guitar. Thank you so much for following along with these lessons, and I hope that you've enjoyed all the breakdowns here. It's really going to give you just a great insight into Andy Summers' guitar style, which is so useful to know, especially if you want to play in a band, or what I've done a lot of studio work, and being familiar with how to play a lot of these parts and how they work in tracks has been super useful in my career, and just being able to go into a session or work with a band and play some parts that sound really great. So before you go, to help you even more, make sure to download my ultimate fretboard guide at the first link down below. And this is going to show you the 5 must-know chords and scales to play in any style, anywhere on the neck. So just go to johnmclennan.com/fretboard guide, or use the first link down below to grab your copy. Also, leave a comment before you go and let me know what album I should cover next here on the channel. This has been a lot of fun covering these entire albums. So far I've done Sgt. Pepper's, we've done Rubber Soul, Abbey Road, some Beatles albums, right? We've got John Mayer Continuum, and now the Police Greatest Hits. So thanks so much for your support. Comment down below what I should cover next, and we'll see you in another video real soon.